You ever wonder how breeders get certain colors in their litters? In my breed, there are 4 accepted colors. There's black and red, which are the 2 traditional colors, and then there's the dilutes. There's blue, and then there's fawn, also called Isabella. Breeders can breed and predict the outcome of their litter 2 ways. We can do this by following a pedigree and estimating what the outcome of the litter is by what the parents, the grandparents, and the great-grandparents are. This is a semi-reliable method, but occasionally there can be recessive genes thrown in that just weren't expressed between grandparents, great-grandparents, so on and so forth, that can pop up, such as dilution factors. We see this in the European population a lot because the European standard doesn't accept dilutes as breed standard, but the gene is there. It is part of the breed. It's been around since the formation of the breed. So we see the dilution factor pop up in the Europeans. So you can have a purebred European Doberman when the parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, and great-great-grandparents were not dilutes. Now, the second way breeders can predict this is genetic testing. There are 2 lotuses that we look at, 2 genes. There's the B lotus, and there's the D lotus. There's a fly that just flew by. The B lotus, you'll have a big B. This is a black dog. Then you have a little b. If you have a dog with a big B and a little b, this is a black dog that carries for red. So this is a dog that can produce both black and red puppies. So it's going to be a black dog that can produce black and red. If you have a little b and a little b, this is a red dog that bred to a black dog can produce black and red. Bred to a red dog can only produce reds. Now this dog will only be red. With dilution genes, a big D, the D lotus, anything with a big D will always be a solid coat color. They'll either be black or brown. Anything with the recessive D or the little d will be a dilute carrier. If you have 2 of those little d's, the 2 recessive d's, 2 recessive genes, you will have a dilute dog. You will have a fawn or a blue. Now, if you have a dilute bred to a dilute, you'll get only dilutes. If you have a dilute bred to a standard, you'll only get standard colored dogs. If you have a dilute bred to a dilute carrier, you'll get both dilutes and standards. Now you have a standard bred to a standard, you'll get only standard colored dogs. Now there is something called a black dominant. Now this is a dog that has 2 of the big B's, meaning this dog can only produce black. Regardless of what it's bred to, it can be bred to a dilute, bred to a red, you're only going to get black dogs.